Chris told you he's like me. He's pretty old. But there is a difference. This guy defined the expression older than dirt. I'm just old as dirt. What's going to happen when that little critter learns to Twitter and he talks to our scientists? And then we get to ask him, where have you been all this time? What'd you see? Did he come from the Earth? Was he part of the primordial explosion that set us up? Was he a passerby that got caught? Or was he just a latecomer that pounded into the surface and got buried, waiting for someone to give him a ride? So be some interesting stories.
TK, we owe you a great debt of gratitude. Again, please accept my congratulations on being recognized for your significant contributions to the exploration of space. TK, it's my pleasure to invite you up as the Ambassador of Exploration, a true American hero, Astronaut Admiral Thomas K. Mattingly.
Astronaut Ken Mattingly will handle the orbital science and photography for the Apollo 16 flight. In a water tank at the Manned Space Center, Houston, he practiced going outside the spacecraft. During the trip earthward, he'll do just that to retrieve special mapping cameras housed behind the command module. We asked him to explain how he'll do it.
We open the hatch. I'll come outside and put up the television pole. We'll be taking a command module television picture and a 16 millimeter photographic record of the EVA transfer. After we get the camera set up and we start out, Charlie will come up to the hatch and he will be tending the umbilical that provides me with my oxygen and pressurization.
The subsequent maneuvers all went without a hitch. Then the next day, April 20th, Young and Duke undocked the lunar module preparatory to landing, leaving Mattingly in the command module.
Okay, Jim, it was a little rush, but we got it done. Right here, 5-9, Jim, and we're sailing free.
April 25. Ken Mattingly left the confines of the command module cabin, 173,000 miles from Earth. As he orbited the moon, he had not only made visual observations, he had been operating a complex series of experiments. Many of these had returned instant data to Houston. 2 had taken thousands of high-resolution pictures of the lunar terrain. Now, Mattingly retrieved the film canisters and made his way back to the cabin with them, as Charlie Duke stood in the hatch to help him.
The first step which will occur will be the attaching of the biomedical sensors to their bodies. Ken Mattingly going in the room first, followed by Henry Hartsfield. They're being helped into their boots at the moment. That's Commander Ken Mattingly. This is shuttle launch control, T-minus 2 hours, 30 minutes, 13 seconds, and counting. And the astronaut crew of Ken Mattingly and Henry Hartsfield have emerged from the suit-up room and are moving into the elevator in the ONC building to begin their trip down to the ground floor. And George Abbey, the chief of the office, Ken Mattingly and Henry Hartsfield getting into the Astro van for the trip out to the launch pad. John Young accompanying them. John Young, the commander of the first flight of the space shuttle. We have main engine ignition, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we have solid motor ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of America's space shuttle on its fourth mission, and we have cleared the tower.
Houston now controlling. Mission control confirms roll maneuver started. 20 seconds. Thrust looks good. 26 seconds. Roll maneuver completed. 30 seconds. 1 nautical mile in altitude. Throttling engines down to 65% now as programmed. 36 seconds. Plot board status looks good. Mission control. 42 seconds. Columbia now 3 nautical miles in altitude.
George Abbey, the flight director from Houston, opening the door. T.K. Mattingly coming out, and followed by 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition and liftoff. Liftoff of Discovery, the first flight totally dedicated to Department of Defense mission. And it's cleared the tower.
Tower clear. The vehicle now turning around to the proper azimuth to go down track on this flight. Being welcomed by Director of Flight Crew Operations George Abbey, Jim Buckley, Oren Schreiber, Ellison Onizuka, Tom Payton, or Gary Payton, and the Commander T.K. Mattingly. This will be Mattingly's last flight. And the Mission Commander T.K. Mattingly.